The congressional committee investigating the January 6th attack says President Trump and his allies may have committed crimes in their effort to overturn the election. The claim in a civil court filing in California came just last night. The committee's lawyers said it has a good faith basis for concluding that the then president and members of his campaign engaged in a criminal conspiracy to defraud the United States. The committee wants lawyer John Eastman to hand over thousands of emails related to efforts to overturn the election. Eastman is a former lawyer for President Trump. He wrote a memo at the time arguing the vice president, Mike Pence, could overturn the election on January the 6th. He says he can't hand over the documents that the committee wants because of attorney-client privilege. The committee is arguing that does not apply to Eastman because lawmakers believe he may have actually helped the president commit the crimes. They say they think his emails might help them prove that. Eastman's lawyers released a statement saying, like all attorneys, Dr. John Eastman has a responsibility to protect client confidences, even at great personal risk and expense. The Select Committee has responded to Dr. Eastman's efforts to discharge this responsibility by accusing him of criminal activity. Former President Trump responded as well to this filing by once again falsely claiming that the election was rigged and claiming the committee is covering it up. NBC's Sahil Kapoor has been covering every step of the committee's work. Sahil, on what evidence are lawmakers basing this very serious allegation?
Absolutely, Shep. These are some explosive allegations of criminal activity against former President Trump. And specifically, they say there's good reason to believe that Donald Trump is guilty of three specific transgressions. The first is obstruction of an official proceeding of Congress. The second is conspiracy to defraud the United States. And the third is common law fraud. They cite, among other things, his call with the Georgia Secretary of State asking him to find just enough votes to declare himself the winner in Georgia, even though he lost that state. They cite his attempts to get his administration at the time to act on claims of fraud that his own officials had debunked. Now, what is the impact of all of this? What does it mean? Let's have a listen to what Republican Adam Kinzinger, a congressman on the committee, had to say.
We're not out here for criminal charges. Ours is just to get to the bottom of it. The question is, in terms of getting the documents we need, a judge asked if the crime fraud exemption existed, which would take away attorney-client privilege. We believe it does. In terms of anything beyond that, for a criminal perspective, that's up to DOJ. It's not up to us.
Now, it's absolutely true that Congress does not have the authority to charge anybody with a crime. That is entirely up to the Justice Department. This is also not a formal criminal referral, and this will be a monumental decision, Shep, for Attorney General Merrick Garland to either act on this evidence and pursue prosecution and balance that with the enormous precedent it would set for an administration to criminally prosecute a president of another party that the incumbent had just defeated. All of these questions come as the January 6th committee had another very busy day today, deposing a former Trump White House staffer, Judd Deere, for nearly 6 hours of deposition and dropping another subpoena against Kimberly Guilfoyle, the fiancée of former President Trump's eldest son, Don Jr. Shep.
Sahil Kapoor, thank you. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.